Welcome back to a new build video. This time I built another German aircraft, namely the Focke-Wulf P7 Flitzer. It's a project that was never realized. As far as I know, there was only a mock-up of it. A quick word about the kit. It's a 72nd scale kit from Revell. On the side of the box, as always, we find a short description and photos of the model. And on the box art a nice representation of the Flitzer. It was a single-seat fighter or interceptor. Here we can also see the armament, which consisted of 4 cannons. On the box art the Flitzer is shown in a dogfight against P-47s. As mentioned, it was never built, but I find the design very interesting, and this project was meant to be a quick build in between larger projects. The kit is actually not bad by Revell standards, with relatively detailed surfaces, even here in the landing gear bay. And here we can also see that the kit dates back to 1996. The landing gear and the instrument panel are also quite detailed, so I immediately started the assembly. First I glued in the instrument panel and then the seat. You can even see the seat belts on the seat. A small problem was that I lost one of these panels, so I simply scratch built a new one from plastic card. The cockpit was then painted in RLM 66, the standard color for late war Luftwaffe aircraft. I also tried to add some detail to the belts, but as you can see, I didn't put too much effort into it. There is also some wiring in the landing gear bay, and interestingly, this bay is glued to the cockpit, and this entire section is then placed between the 2 fuselage halves. As expected, the fit here was not ideal, and I had to use clothespins to make everything line up properly. However, as you can see, the 2 fuselage halves did not fit together perfectly. I had to remove quite a bit of material, and even then it was still a very tight fit. Because of the design of the Flitzer featuring a long tail section, I also decided to glue some fishing weights into the nose to make sure it wouldn't tip backwards. The reciprocating sander from this bay was used again here, as gluing the fuselage halves together created a rather ugly seam line, which I sanded down as best as I could. On the wings you can also notice the typical Revell quality, as there are remnants from the molding process on the underside. Obviously I had to sand those away as well. Then the wings were glued to the fuselage. It looks easier here in the video than it actually was, because I really had to pay attention to the alignment from the start. This also created a fairly large gap on the underside, which I filled with Vallejo putty. Next I glued the tail section together, again securing everything with clothespins. Then I cleaned up the seam lines, which in turn required to rescribe the panel lines using a razor saw. Then the tail assembly was glued into the recesses on the wings. The horizontal stabilizer was also attached between the 2 vertical fins. All this was very fiddly and took some time until I got the alignment right. Of course I also had to clean up the glue joints properly. The display sander is quite suitable for this kind of work. It's not a miracle tool, but I like using it because I'm quite lazy when it comes to sanding by hand. Once everything was cleaned up, I masked the canopy with Tamiya masking tape. Then the entire aircraft was primed. If I remember correctly, I used MRP primer for this. The underside was then painted with RLM 76. On the upper side, I also used RLM 76 to slightly pre-shade the panels. Mainly I lightened the centers of the individual panels before moving on to the actual paint job. But before applying the main colors I also emphasized the individual panel lines with an AK marker, applying a pre-shading effect. I went for a classic 2-color camouflage. I started with RLM 75 Grey-Violet, which I applied freehand. I roughly followed Revell's painting instructions regarding the pattern. I've been using these MRP paints for several years now, and I have to say I'm very satisfied with them. They're not cheap, but easy to work with, and there is no thinning required. Also, the colors are authentic, at least as far as I can judge. Cleaning the airbrush afterward is also relatively easy. In any case, I applied RLM 75 as the first color, roughly following the instructions in terms of placement on the model. It already looked quite good, but of course the second color was still missing. Here I used RLM 74. Again, I decided to apply it freehand without masking. Even though I used a relatively large 0.4mm nozzle and needle, it works very precisely with MRP paints. I use a Harder & Steenbeck Evolution airbrush. With a bit of practice you can achieve such a camouflage scheme quite well, even without masking. So after painting all the remaining areas, I added a bit of mottling, those thin faded spots along the transitions. Again, I did this freehand and simply lowered the pressure on the compressor a bit. Then I painted a few details, for example these trim surfaces, which I masked and painted red. A small but nice detail. Next it was time to apply the decals. As mentioned, the kit is now around 30 years old, so I was quite cautious with the decals from the start. They were relatively delicate and thin. As you can see here, the very first one tore. But with a lot of patience, it was still possible to use the decals. As always, the water is removed with a cotton swab. And just to be safe, I treated the decals with Mark Fit Strong Decal Solution. Later I also used Tamiya decal adhesive to improve the adhesion a bit. These larger Balkenkreuze were no problem at all. The only thing I really played it safe with were the walkway markings. I was sure they would tear, so I cut them into several pieces beforehand. And as you can see, even though I cut them into multiple parts, positioning them was still very difficult. The decals folded over or wrinkled, and precise alignment was quite hard to achieve. But with plenty of water on the surface to make them easier to move and some patience, it eventually worked out quite well. One problem I unfortunately couldn't fully fix is the silvering, as you can see here. I don't know whether it was the surface, I did sand it a bit beforehand, or the age of the decals, or some other issue that I caused. Please let me know in the comments if you have any further tips, and don't say gloss before decals, because I already proved that this isn't necessary. In any case, after the decals were applied, I used a dark wash from Emma of Mig on the panel lines to emphasize them a bit more. Here you always have to be a little careful not to overdo it, but with a cotton swab, these enamel washes can actually be removed quite easily, so that they remain only in the panel lines and recesses. Since the Flitzer never really saw service, I wanted to hold back a bit with the weathering. But weathering is one of the best parts of scale modeling in my opinion, it's just too much fun. So I overdid it a little here as well, as always. Finally I glued the landing gear into the gear base. That was a bit fiddly again. But here you can also use super glue right away to make sure everything holds well and stays stable. And last but not least, the wheels were added. Here you still have to pay attention to the alignment so that everything sits nice and straight. And as a very last step I glued on the cannons and pitot tube. You could maybe go a bit further with some scratch building here, but honestly for me this was only meant to be a relatively quick and simple project. So after removing the masks from the canopy, I was quite satisfied with the Flitzer, and as you can see, I think the final result turned out quite well for such a quick project. And considering the age of the kit, it was a fun project still. As far as I know, Amusing Hobby is planning a new release of the Flitzer in 48th scale, which could be quite interesting. Maybe I will consider getting that kit in the future. It would probably also fit quite well on my Luftwaffe base that I built. If you still haven't seen that video, you can find it on my channel. And that was the video about my Focke-Wulf P7 Flitzer. If you liked it, please leave a like, comment, and also check out my other channels like Instagram and Facebook. You can find the links as always in the description. Thank you very much for your comments and your feedback, and see you in the next one. Bye!